Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially so close to the start of the Chapter 2 Remix event. I bet by the time a lot of you watch this video, it will have already taken place. You're sitting at a downtime screen waiting for Chapter 2 Remix to begin. The wait is over. Everything about Chapter 2 Remix has been revealed. Like the entire battle pass, new bosses and mythic weapons, and even our very first official gameplay that I'll showcase right here in this video. But first, if you don't hit the thumbs up button on this video, exactly 111 days, whenever you log on to Fortnite, this'll happen. No! If you do hit the thumbs up button on this video, exactly 111 days, when you log on to Fortnite, this will be waiting for you. Choice is all yours, so choose carefully. If you want to go the extra mile to support the channel, just head on over to the item shop and input my code, HOMAGAMESYT. Ladies and gentlemen, we've wasted way too much time. The Chapter 2 Remix event is just about to go down, and we have all of the information you could ever want to know about the new season. Let's get into it. Now, super quickly, before we reveal everything you need to know about Chapter 2 Remix, first things first, the Chapter 2 Remix event isn't just responsible for explaining how we arrived in the new season, it's also literally what all of Chapter 5 was building up to. Because, believe it or not, the purpose of Pandora's box wasn't just to release all of the evil gods into our reality, but instead something way more important that is actually tied to Valeria, Hope, and even their grandfather who inhabited this island way before we ever did. During that time way back, the island was ran by a bunch of powerful titans, basically the same titan that the massive hand belongs to that we saw come to life during a mini live event earlier in the chapter, even the same titans you can see supporting the reality ball in the Castle of Doom. Back then, the reality and islanders were destroyed when Pandora's box was open, but Hope and Valeria's grandfather came up with a plan to prevent the same thing from happening again in the future. This plan was written down in the book Valeria was obsessed with. Once the plan started coming together and the massive titan hand spawned, releasing tons of evil gods onto the island, we all thought Valeria was an evil person, and it essentially doomed our reality for good. What we didn't know at the time is this was actually Valeria trying to save the island, simply by following the plans outlined by her grandfather. After this, Valeria's involvement in the plan was basically done. The next part totally relied on Hope. Let me explain. I'm sure y'all remember the Oracle, aka the faceless character introduced in Season 1, would talk to us at all of these different scrying pools. And she has repeatedly mentioned that Hope and the box have some sort of super deep connection.
Hope and this box, they're linked by fate.
Then months and months went by and we had no idea what the Oracle meant by this. I'll simply assume she meant Hope would be the one to defeat Dr. Doom. Turns out the Oracle was actually referencing Hope's grandfather's plan to leave the island. Specifically, this image in the top left of the plan, you're able to see an orb that looks very, very similar to the 0 point. But it's not. Instead, this is actually the orb on the front of Pandora's box, aka the same orbs that we had to collect and deliver to Hope last season, that ended up giving her some crazy visions about the future. These visions, and different logos displayed on the orbs, were obviously teasers for Chapter 2 Remix, and in one of her visions, you could actually see the same graffiti that's on the screen that ruined Reels actually being released from Pandora's box itself. But wait, it gets even better, because the final image in her grandfather's plan, being a butterfly, was literally the only other missing piece of the puzzle. Y'all thought this was referencing the butterfly effect, which essentially means small changes of the past can have huge effects on the future. We were wrong, because just earlier today, Fortnite updated their Twitter banner to actually include an image of this butterfly, and this should look very, very familiar, because we've seen this exact same rift butterfly in Fortnite many times before. The way this thing works is not only is it created by the 0 point, but it also appears every single time we're going to be traveling to a different reality. Speaking of traveling to a different reality, we're just about to showcase all of Chapter 2 Remix. First, the rift butterfly is actually more important than any of you probably realize, because not only was it outlined by Hope's grandfather to be the key to saving our reality, but Epic Games have actually began hiding some rift butterflies in some unconventional places. For example, we all know that 2 days ago, the brand new Rave Mellow skin released inside of the Fortnite item shop. The players have noticed in the background behind him, actually able to see that very same rift butterfly. Obviously, this is teasing Marshmello performing a mini concert during the first stage of the event. It essentially functions as a teaser for the massive music theme that'll be present in the new season. Because Chapter 2 Remix doesn't just mean a brand new remixed island, it's also remixed in the music sense. As Epic Games sent out remixed versions of the Chapter 2 soundtrack done by Marshmello to a bunch of creators, and even had a secret remix rap song hidden in the remix video Teasers. Speaking of rap songs, Marshmello performance during the Prelude event isn't the only live event concert related to the new season, and Epic Games actually began teasing another concert a few days ago inside of the festival mode, where you could actually find this image, basically just being a gold screen with a bunch of fancy S's. This is teasing another upcoming concert that'll actually feature none other than the legend Snoop Dogg. Don't worry, this event won't be responsible for taking us into Fortnite Chapter 6, but instead will be a standalone event that takes place in a creative island, sort of similar to the Party Royale Soundwave series events from a few years ago. Trust me, you haven't seen anything yet, because was just yesterday when the final stage of the event build-up went live and the Rift Beacon activated, finally shooting its energy beam at the massive screen with all the sprays. A brand new portal began opening up, and the portal's energy began taking the exact same shape of the oh-so-important Rift Butterfly. During the event, as this portal to the Chapter 2 reality begins to expand more and more, tons and tons of different locations from other realities will begin to merge with ours. Exactly like the butterfly was foreshadowing the entire time, which is totally different from what we expected to see happen, where we'd actually be brought back in time to the Chapter 2 reality and everything we'd experience would be the same, but instead our reality will simply be merged with its. That makes total sense, because ever since the Chapter 5 map leaked, before Chapter 5 even released, tons and tons of people couldn't stop noticing the extreme similarities between that island and the old Chapter 2 island. On top of that, many of the mountains surrounding the Chapter 5 island look to be the same ones surrounding the Chapter 2 map, meaning Epic Games basically had the conclusion of the chapter right in front of our eyes the entire time. And don't worry, we're just about to get to the big reveal, because once the portal created by the Rift Beacon merges our reality with Chapter 2's, brand new island will be presented to us. Technically though, not a new island at all, but simply a remix version, but a new island nonetheless, featuring new remix version of old locations like the agency, and even the return of arguably the most important man in Fortnite of all time, being none other than Midas. The return of Midas is the most important thing that you need to know. Obviously, we all remember when he made his return earlier in Chapter 5, it was revealed that after Midas's death in the Chapter 2 Season 3 trailer, he was sent to the underworld and held prisoner by Hades. Eventually, Midas went on to not only make his escape from the prison, but also reassemble his team of Ghost and Shadow members at the Marigold Yacht before leaving the island altogether for something he called his next big adventure. Turns out that adventure actually resulted in a bunch of his agents being combined to create a bunch of new remix version skins for the Battle Pass, which I'll showcase in a second, but also actually helped the creation of the brand new island. Because don't forget, back in Chapter 2 Season 2, when Midas and his daughter Jules constructed the device, it was used during the device live event. Many people think its purpose was just to control the storm. Its real purpose was to break the loop entirely, outlined in Midas's folder obtained by the Imagined Order, known as the Loop Breaker Project. One of the point of interest Midas decided to save, oddly enough, is the location known as Lazy Lake. The reason we know this is Fortnite literally tweeted saying, "Do not disturb, we'll be at the Lazy Lake Spa this weekend," as well as a few other point of interest, like one obviously being the agency, as well as the shard. And I'll give you a better look at those in a second. That's enough messing around, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, and the wait is over, because we have all the details you could ever want to know about the remix season. It starts off with this: the return of Midas, that we mentioned earlier in the video. This time around, Midas won't actually be leading the Ghost faction like he was in Chapter 2 the first time. The agency won't be controlled by them either, as it has now officially been taken over by Hope and the other underground members, decorated with all of their signature graffiti. Instead, during the live event, when the Rift Beacon activates and begins to connect us to different realities, merging them with ours and bringing in tons of Chapter 2 locations, merging of realities won't just go on to change the island altogether, it'll also begin merging different character snapshots. This is how the brand new Meowtis skin was created. That's essentially a combination of Midas and Meow Souls. This thing has some secret details included on it. For example, if you take a look at Meowtis' right arm, you're able to see a brand new tattoo that Midas didn't have, actually being Lynx's name with a heart around it. Don't forget, Meow Souls and the Lynx character were previously married, for suffering a long and difficult divorce in Fortnite Chapter 3. The weirdest thing of all is it appears that the merging of two characters actually changed their gender. The new Meowtis skin is a female. After the Meowtis page in the Battle Pass, you'll arrive on this page that actually belongs to a brand new version of a Chapter 2 skin known as the Chaos Agent. Don't forget, Chaos Agent was originally a secret member of Midas's Ghost faction. Not only was he the one responsible for engineering all of the Slurp series skins, was also the one responsible for creating the corrupted 8-Ball, is once again returned in this season's Battle Pass, and we'll cover him later. Most importantly, Chaos Agent was responsible for creating Megalodon's Nitro suit, then had his life spared by Megalodon and was released back onto the Chapter 5 island. Just like Meowtis, the Rift Beacon starts merging our reality with others, bringing in tons of old POIs. This caused Chaos Agent to merge with another character from Chapter 2, being Remedy versus Toxin. Thankfully, Toxin is a female skin, so I guess that explains the random gender change. You're able to get our very first look at this beautiful new skin on your screen right now. Very next page in the Battle Pass after the new Chaos Agent actually belongs to the previously mentioned 8-Ball remix skin. Believe it or not, this is literally the only skin present in the new Battle Pass that isn't a combined version of two characters, and it's basically just a new version of the original 8-Ball skin, however way cooler. So you're now able to fully customize him, just like the Spectra Knight from the first season of Fortnite OG. What's so interesting about this is back when Chapter 2 first launched, the way the story goes is the Imagined Order actually sent 8-Ball to the island to make sure it was safe to inhabit, essentially meaning Chapter 2 never could have taken place without his hard work. Now on your screen right now, you're able to see our very first images of what this skin is going to look like. Boy, oh boy, I gotta say Epic Games did a great job on this, and it looks incredible. As all the information at Chapter 2 remix remix continues to come out. I'll make sure to tweet everything out for you guys over on my official Twitter account at HomemadeGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have an absolutely incredible rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in Chapter 2 Remix.